There's over 8.7 million animals on Earth today, and about 1.3 million of them are actually inverts according to the Nature Red List. 30% of the inverts are actually at risk of going extinct, and there's 8 groups of inverts as you can see on screen now, and that's the categories of inverts. The definition of inverts is any animal that lacks the backbone, so things like jellyfish, lobsters, crabs, millipedes, spiders and tarantulas are all classed as inverts. So with that said, let's get on with today's list and look at 10 giant inverts. These inverts are going to be 10 giant inverts in their specific categories we're going to be looking at. So with that said, let's get on number 10, and that being the giant African millipede. There's around 12,000 known species of millipedes in the world today. Millipedes are part of the arthropod groups, which is made up of things like woodlice. The African giant millipede is the largest millipede in the world, reaching 38 to 39 centimetres long, and they actually have the World Guinness record for being the largest millipede. They don't have 1,000 legs, like the myth says. They have 4 legs per body segment, and they have between 30 to 40 segments for the body. So let me know in the comments down below what that works out at. In the daytime, they will be hide under the rocks and under the cord. And at night time, because they're nocturnal, they will come out and go hunting. And they make absolutely amazing pets due to the size, how easy they are to care, and they're a lot of fun for kids and people who are starting off in the hobby because of how simple they are to keep. They also live for quite a long time in captivity as well, and they're not impossible to breed in captivity, but they are kind of hard. Alright guys, with that said, let's move on to number 9, which is the largest land crab in the world, and that is the coconut crab. Coconut crabs can weigh up to 4.1 kilograms, and in fact, they are terrestrial hermit crabs, what means they live in trees and are good climbers. They can grow to about 1 metre, which works out to be 3 foot 3 inches in length, and in the wild they can be found in islands across Indian Ocean and parts of the Pacific Ocean. They can be kept in the pet trade, but the fact is only a handful of zoos around the world keep these in the pet trade, and you're going to need a lot of room, space, and these are a powerful creature, and they'll be quite easily smashed through a wooden setup, so make sure that it's perfect if you're keeping them. Okay guys, with that said, let's get to number 8, what is going to be the world's biggest tarantula, and that is Goliath-bearded tarantula. The Goliath-bearded tarantula is the biggest tarantula in the world. Their body measures to 4.75 inches, which is 12 centimetres, with a leg span of 11 inches, which is 28 centimetres. So their leg span is nearly a foot. They really are a monster, guys. And they can weigh up to 175 grams too. They are found in the wild in rainforests in northern South America. Despite being called bird eaters, they rarely eat birds in the wild, and their diet is normally made up of inverts, insects, small mammals, and frogs in the wild. Unlike other tarantulas, these will not make a web to catch their prey. They will actually go out and hunt for it. These are an absolute phenomenal tarantula. They have massive fangs, and the fangs are about 1 inch, so they really are quite big. They are a New World tarantula, so instead of biting you straight away, they're going to hiss and flick hairs at you guys, and them hairs are very, very deadly. If it's going in your eyes or your mouth, they're not going to be very good. But these pets are kept quite a lot in the hobby as well, and they can make amazing show animals if you've got the right setup. Alright guys, with that said, let's get on to number 7 on the list, which is one of the most creepiest inverts in the world, and that's got to go to, and that is the largest centipede in the world, and that is a giant yellow-legged centipede. In fact, it holds the Guinness World Record for being the largest centipede in the world at 10 inches. They can be found in South America, and because of the size, they prey on a wide range of animals, including inverts, amphibians, mammals, and also reptiles. The last death reported from a bite from one of these centipedes was over 7 years ago, and that was in 2014 when a 4-year-old took a bite from one and ended up dying. They can be very offensive and aggressive, so make sure you keep out of the way if you see them, but they are an absolute breathtaking animal, and yes, they can be kept in the hobby and pet trade. Number 6 on the list, we're going to be heading deep into the sea. Number 6 on the list is the colossal squid. The colossal squid is a massive squid that lives 1,000 meters deep in the sea, surrounding the Antarctic. It also holds multi-records. Not only is it the largest invert on Earth, reaching a body and tentacle length of 46 feet, which is 14 meters, and it can weigh 500 kilograms. It also has the biggest eye in the animal kingdom. And yes, that is bigger than the blue whale, and that measures to 27 centimeters. These are the biggest invert in the world, and not a lot is known about these rare and exclusive animals because they're so deep down. There's not a lot known about these beautiful animals. Number 5 on the list is... Number 5 on the list has got to go to the emperor scorpions. Emperor scorpions are one of the largest scorpions in the world today, reaching 20 centimeters, which is 7.9 inches in length, and weigh 30 grams. They are native to rainforests in West Africa. Their body is a black colour, and when you put UV light on them, they will glow a green pastel / bluey colour. They're a very popular species to keep in the hobby for anyone who's keeping inverts, but they are actually protected by CITES now, what means you're going to need paperwork if you're keeping them. Number 4 on the list is the southern ocean giant sea spider. It is really from the nightmares. They can reach a leg span of 25 centimeters, and they live at the bottom of oceans in Antarctica. It's not actually a spider, and they'll feed on worms, jellyfish, sponges in the ocean. They don't really have any body, and the organs are actually inside their legs. How crazy is that? They're absolutely a weird but fascinating creature, what feeds off other inverts in the ocean. With that said, let's get into number 3 now, which is... Number 3 on the list has got to go to the giant African snail. The giant African snail is the largest terrestrial snail in the world, reaching 8 inches, which is 20 centimeters long. The shell are normally brownish with dark brown stripes all on the shell when adults, and they can live for 10 years plus in captivity. These make an absolutely amazing invert for people who are starting off in the hobby, and also kids who are getting their first invert. They're easy to care, very cool to keep, but the only thing you've got to worry about is obviously they breed quite a lot, so you'd have to cool the eggs and make sure they don't have too many babies or you're going to be overrun with them. Number 2 on the list is Japan's most scariest invert, and that is the giant hornet. The African giant hornet is one of the most deadly inverts in Japan. Its sting can be proved to be very fatal. There is about 50 deaths a year in Japan from these Asian giant hornet stings, and they're the largest wasps in the world, with the queens reaching 5 centimeters and the workers just coming a tiny bit smaller at 4 centimeters. These really are an aggressive and a very dangerous wasp out there. Before we get on to number 1, please make sure you give this video a like, a subscribe, and hit that bell, guys. It really does help us out. And let me know in the comments what you want our next top 10 list to be. And just let me know something about your beautiful faces. I really love hearing from you guys. With that said, let's get on to number 1, which is... Number 1 on the list has got to go to the giant weta. They are actually the heaviest insect in the world, with some species weighing 71 grams and reaching 8 inches long. For an insect that only eats vegetation and vegetables, etc., they have a really powerful jaws, and the males have massive jaws. This is to help fight off other males and for breeding, and them pinches do really hurt. These are endangered as well in New Zealand, and a lot of the species are going extinct and being threatened due to habitat loss, humans taking them and putting them in the pet trade, and also down to invasive species coming in and wiping them out. So they are endangered species, and there's several species of wetas all around the world, from West Africa to New Zealand as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I promise you to see you in the next video. Also, check out one of the videos what's floating around right now, guys. These are the videos that YouTube recommends. Another top 10 list here. Subscribe here. Check out my 2021 videos. And I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.